Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines. November 15th.
Noticing these wolves. I don't know if there will be something with the word wolf, wolves.
Beast.
1 week later, wolves make headlines, taking over parks and fears of lone wolf attacks in the UK. November 15th.
This could be a TV person.
I'm getting mail.
This looks like something that could be quite well known. Somebody in film and television. Kind of a little bit of a surprise. When you see people on TV, they're always twinning.
Someone famous that's not as famous now. You know, they might have some kind of snag or snafu in their career.
Oh, it wasn't a surprise. It was a shock. Greg Wallace. We will be talking about that just for a little bit before we get to our royal revelations. Hello, I'm Val Evans, and I am here today for an hour with Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot. We are focused on the headlines for next week, starting on Sunday, December 1st. Hard to believe that December is already upon us. On this show, we make predictions on current events and how they affect royal family members, the UK, and the world to teach astrology and show you how to make your own predictions using your predictive solar return chart. And if you'd like help, just go to my website and order a predictive solar return calendar or a personal reading. A special thanks to the members that make this show possible, the valedictorians. And if you'd like to become one and support us, please click the join button or the link in the description box. Hello, Amber. How are you?
I'm good.
We are wrapping up November. We have so many predictions that we were looking at, that the chart and the cards, they were telling us that it's coming. And Greg Wallace was a big headline. It was a little bit more than a surprise. This person, I didn't even know who he was, but it looks like he was is a pretty big personality in the UK, and lots of allegations. And remember when you got the card, the strength card, and we were going back and forth and wondering, well, wait a minute, is it a male? But then there's a woman. Well, there was a male and actually a lot of women, 13, I think, who claimed that he made inappropriate sexual advances or comments. And so now he's being investigated. He, of course, was the star on MasterChef. Don't forget to go to Amazon if you're interested in career astrology, either the Secret Career Code or Forensic Astrology 101. And also, I have a show coming up, The Grapes of Brad and Angie. This is going to be a prediction. I'm also going to be doing a show tomorrow, Saturday at 9 p.m. And of course, Amber, you're always welcome to join. You've joined us for the first two, and they were pretty amazing, very popular too, actually. And if you're interested in finding out more about Amber, you can go to YouTube and look up Taurus Moon Tarot 761. Okay, so now we have December. We are working on December 1st. I would like to go over some of our last clues from last week if we get a chance. But for now, we're just going to look at the upcoming weekly predictions. And of course, the way we do that is we look at December 1st, or the Sunday of the week at midnight, and that's going to give us a chart. So this is going to start on December 1st. And this is actually something I threw in here. We saw Saturn and Moon last week, which it was death. And then in that T-square with Gemini, which is talking a lot about death. And here we go. We had a headline of patients and families sharing views on the assisted dying bill ahead of the vote. And I believe they passed it. So dying was definitely on, on the menu, I guess, this past week for headlines. And so this is this week. We are still in Virgo. We are going to be in Virgo for a little bit longer. And So the ascendant is going to give us an idea of the personality of this week. So we've got lots of Virgo, meaning cleaning, and
Yes.
we actually had Moon in Virgo last week, and we were talking about homes and cleaning, and there was a lot of cleanup with homes
Yeah.
because of the terrible storms that are happening right now,
Yeah.
and just having to go in. I mean, there's thousands of people who have been affected by the weather, so we saw that. Okay, so don't forget though,
Ooh, what is that?
Virgo is clothing, and
Oh,
so you gotta imagine, and maybe I don't really
mhm.
look at the headlines too much, that there's gotta be something that has to do with clothing, fashion industry, between now and maybe end of December,
Yeah.
while we're still getting that Virgo rising.
Right.
And so I'm wondering what that is. Yeah, this is this week's chart. And part of fortune is right on the ascendant, which means massive success. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. There it is.
Hmm.
Love part of fortune. Love, love, love. Always look for part of fortune, but don't
Yeah.
like how there's some red lines going through there. Here it is. And this is my first question for you. Virgo plus Taurus plus give or take Capricorn and a little Aquarius thrown in there. This is, especially with Venus together with Pluto, this is massive amounts of money and women. Okay, so
Ooh.
we could either be talking about women who are workers who are making a
Mm.
lot of money for a clothing brand. That wouldn't be
Yeah.
a surprise, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be some kind of big shocking court decision because it's the ninth house of
Mm.
court.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it looks like an incredible amount of money.
Well, I could certainly see something with the quartz because my pre-spread had a lot of Libra justice cards. I have the traditional justice card, and then I also have To Be Fair, which is an oracle card which symbolizes the scales and the quartz. So that could certainly be something. And I have the seventh house card also in the astrology deck, which is Venus ruled Libra. So really interesting. Let's see what this is, though. Ooh. Oh, the star in reverse. There could be headlines around like a luxury brand. Like luxury is the word that I get in my mind. Or there could be, yeah, the Queen of Cups. So definitely there's the women that we're referring to. um, it's almost like, oh, what could this be? The Tower.
Whoa.
It feels like, I don't know where South Node is, but is there like a loss or like a layoff or something around a luxury brand that's like a total change that is
Okay.
surprising, a big
Let's
change?
take a look here. Okay, so I don't see it's a big shock, but let's look at
Mhm.
Virgo and how there is a square to Jupiter in Gemini, as well as the moon and the sun in Sagittarius. So there's a T
Mhm.
square right there. That's one thing. Now, well, we've got South Node in the first house. Yes, I think there could be something that somebody's trying to let go of and cannot. And it seems like there's some lies in there. With
Okay.
South Node opposing Neptune, this is a scandal.
Yeah.
Yeah, this could be a scandal of somebody trying to let go of
Not being
something.
able to let go of something that's difficult. This is the 10 of Wands too. Yep, that 10 of Wands, absolutely. Letting go of something.
And South Node too represents losing weight and wanting to lose weight in the
Okay.
first house because the first house is the body. So there could
Mhm.
be, you're starting to see this build a little bit about Ozempic and drugs. So with
Mhm.
South Node and opposing Neptune being drugs,
Right.
we might start seeing some really growing, concerning headlines about drugs
Yeah,
like Ozempic. What
I
do you
could see
think?
that. Yeah, I could because I also have the Neptune, my Neptune card came out additionally with the Aquarius card, which is the Uranus aspect with the shock, and then more Aquarius energy with the star in reverse. That with this tower, it's like a shocking loss of women. That's sort of all three together. And it's an organization of some kind. It's the Hierophant is something that's very structured. And that's why I say it could be a very large brand, could be, even a drug brand.
Okay. Yeah, big brands, big luxury brands. And
Hmm.
with, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that it
Okay.
will be around that. Yeah,
Did you
fashion.
get any other card there?
No, just this Hierophant I'm looking at. It just makes me think of something that's really well known, like global
Okay.
global
Yeah,
brand.
I'm the first thing I did, and I think I put this on the next slide, but it's funny that you said luxury brand because I had pulled a couple of people who represent luxury brands. Gianni Versace was one, but I decided to go with,
Mhm.
who do you think this is? Look at Virgo. All of these planets in Virgo, this is the birth chart of a very well known person who likes luxury brands. Pluto means lots and lots. Mars is just
Hmm.
loves clothes,
Yeah.
almost an obsessive love for clothes, just cannot stop. And Uranus could be online clothing. It could be a visionary with clothing.
Yeah.
People who see this person might see someone who sets trends. And so there we go.
Mhm.
Sarah
Ah,
Jessica. And when you see Virgo, you could see this a lot with models too.
yeah.
One of their experiences as a human is just having a lot of clothes around. Constant, they're wheeling clothes in, they're wheeling clothes out.
Yeah.
So they definitely did that with Sarah Jessica. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's we might be seeing something coming in,
Mhm.
and I can't believe how was it 2 weeks ago when we were talking about somebody in TV news? You
Yeah.
had pulled the strength card and you were like, it could have been a blonde, it could have
Yeah.
been somebody who had Leo characteristics. Here
Right.
we have Greg Wallace coming out this week, and we're
Yeah.
seeing pictures of him flexing his muscles, which is very Leo. And also, Penny Lancaster is in the news attached with him, saying that she felt a certain way when she worked with him. Rod Stewart's coming in. There's bullying,
Yeah.
which is also Leo.
Yeah.
So lots of blondes, lots of Leos,
Yes.
lots of muscles. And Tuvik, you are a new subscriber to the
Oh,
channel. I'm so glad you like it. We do a little bit of astrology and tarot cards, but we try to make it understandable. You'll hear me say blue lines and red lines when, it's just easier. Michelle, you said, I watched the Camilla Wicked Stepmother and was shocked when I saw an old photo of a younger Andrew Parker Bowles, and I thought I was looking at Thomas Kingston. Isn't that interesting?
wow.
A lot of twins, when it comes to Leo. And we see this with Greg Wallace, where I guess fans were shocked. I want to say it's within the past year where he was twinning another TV presenter. We were talking about how TV presenters often look alike. This is this week's chart. It looks like a big mess. And
Red
there's
lines,
some
blue
good,
lines.
yes, so many red lines and blue lines.
Yes.
And we've got a nice blue triangle. So something's working out for somebody. This is a blue triangle in the middle of this. So yay for whoever that is.
Yeah.
Something that I thought was super interesting is that when we're reading the chart for this week, from what I've seen for when we read about the clues about Greg Wallace,
Yeah.
that was the next week. So I wonder if this is showing the upper part of the chart, if it's showing us the next week that it's going to happen. So we could do this week and then the week after if we wanted to, if we had all day.
Yes.
But it certainly looks like with the part of fortune trining Uranus. Now, that's technology. That
Mm,
is the Elon Musk's.
yes.
He's having a love fest with his inner circle, and yet I wonder if there's some kind of maybe tech too
Mhm.
that is developing. This could also be crypto. We might see some more crypto headlines because Venus
Yeah.
and Pluto is so much money.
A lot. Yeah.
But the 22 degrees is something that has to do with somebody that is in danger. And so
Mm.
uh, before I get into that, I'm going to show you the cards that I pulled.
Oof.
big cards. I know, like you would say, you'd be like, those are big cards.
This is big. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the first one I got, in fact, I had pulled the chart of somebody who's going to die. And then I got the death card after that. Then
Wow.
I got Ace of Cups. And then I got
That
uh,
10 of
10 of Pentacles reversed. So this is a lot of money that is, would you say it would be money?
losing. Yes.
Losing money.
Yeah.
Losing money. There's a death, but then there's also a beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So something is definitely shifting this week, and that would be between, December 1st and the rest of the week.
Mhm.
And so we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But I'm getting bad girl hurts, if
Oof.
not is wounded. And so that's why I'm looking at 22 degrees here. This looks like somebody who is kind of bad news. People might think that she's bad news, that
Yeah.
she's up to no good constantly,
Yeah.
but she's in trouble this week. And so I was wondering what you might think about that.
This is, I actually feel this card. Oof. That's the Virgo energy. And I've got the High Priestess on the bottom. Someone spiritual, perhaps, or has some kind of established sense of like woo-woo-ness. Oof. 3 of Swords. That's pain. That's being hurt. That's
emotional pain, but maybe also the third wheel or the other woman. It's another woman that's being hurt.
Yeah. And this, with that card together, is, to me, this is like learning someone is a cheetah and a liar. There's something here with that. This can be quite a manipulative type of energy. Someone who appears very shiny and, riding in on the white horse, but delivers the pain, delivers the blow. Yeah, this is interesting. I want to know more about the woman, though. Let's see well, there's our 22 degrees. The devil.
Yes.
Wow,
All right.
Yeah. I don't know if you have a description based on the chart, but it could be someone from someone who has like foreign ties or is has an ethnic look to them.
Okay. All right, let's take a look. So I'm looking at Venus here. This is somebody probably who has maybe dark hair, black hair because of Capricorn. And on the whole, it looks like she's pretty successful because there's a big grand trine here, big blue triangle, very successful person. She might even be successful in crypto or maybe in the fashion industry.
It feels like an heiress is what I'm getting, like someone who is an heiress of some kind.
Okay. And with Capricorn, that would be old money. You have Venus money. Capricorn is old money. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And ninth, you said foreign too. That could be a foreign woman. So ninth house. See, Mercury is the chart ruler. Something to note, the chart ruler is retrograde. So that's going to affect this this reading a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. The thing that is really hurting this person is the fact that we've got Black Moon Lilith, the bad girl, and it's here. And the reason it seems dangerous is because Chiron is wounds and it's in the 8th house. This looks like somebody is really dealt a blow.
Yeah.
So could I ask you, is this person going to die?
So right when you were saying the Mercury retrograde, I didn't realize that the Magician in reverse came out behind another card. So I didn't see it till you said that. But this is exactly Mercury in retrograde. I mean, this is the Mercury Virgo card, Mercury Gemini. So in reverse. There is something that is, like I said, sort of toxic, big toxic addictions. Oh, are they in trouble? Yes. With the world, that's a yes, no, yes. I mean, the world card is about, similar to the death card, to be honest, where you're transforming from one thing into another. You were this, and now you're in this. It's a complete change of formation, energy. I'm getting the word shapeshifter, but it's like you go from one energy form to another.
Okay. And looking at Venus there in the 5th house, that's sports. And there's a lot of news about the WAGs, and especially, gosh, I can't remember their names, but there's, just a big
Yeah.
toxic soap opera with some of the WAGs. Could be something in the sports world as well. So,
Yeah.
Eris, sports, foreign, uh,
Mhm.
and also danger. All right, we got a twin clue. Yet another twin clue.
Sure.
And we have, you can see I have a twin engine there,
Yeah.
twin engine airplane. We've got weather and we've got twins. And so this is going to be the case for a little while because we have Jupiter in Gemini. So much about twins. Everyone's talking, so much talk because Jupiter is so much and
Yeah.
Gemini is to talk. The twins up here. And here's the problem, the opposition with Mercury retrograde. This is, especially with Mercury in Sagittarius, that could be roads, yet another gigantic road closing or, rush hour types of stuff. But
Yeah.
with Sagittarius, these are large
Large.
vehicles, like big trucks. And at the same time, Mercury retrograde means the weather. So lots of stuff about the weather.
Hmm.
And with Sag, these could be foreign cars fall. That's really what it says to me. So I wonder what we're gonna. It's also a second time this happens because of Gemini.
Oh.
Yeah, so this will be the twin event of something.
Is there anything in there indicating also around technology
Let me see.
with
Well,
that?
you know what? Mercury is always technology,
I guess
so
that's true.
yes.
It made me think about the Tesla brand, the Cybertrucks, those vehicles having some headline news.
There was actually just a headline about that. It's funny that you
Oh,
just said that. Yeah, I believe it was in California. There was a few people who were killed from a Cybertruck who the driver hit a tree or something like that.
oh my God.
Yeah, so electric cars, yes. Thank
Yeah,
you, Andrew.
this Six of Wands in reverse, this is failure. This is some kind of failure. And, the person is traveling, horseback, vehicle transportation is transportation failure.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't love this, but lies around transportation or transportation failure, some kind of, it feels like a report information or a report coming out about failure.
You know what this could be? Mercury the thief. So
Oh, yes.
maybe there's someone that's stealing documents about cars.
Could be information about the technology. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That too.
Leaked.
That too. Okay. And Michelle Rose, thank you so much for that. I forgot Colleen's name. Colleen Rooney in the Jungle talking about Wagatha Christie and also dissing Trump. Yes. Yeah. So we might be looking at somebody who's going to have some trouble this week or knows somebody who will.
Yeah.
And hi, Marie. Nice to see you.
Mhm.
And let's see. Okay. Victoria Beckham, fashion and wag. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Hopefully not. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we just hope that whoever it is, gets through this week, but it seems like it's going to be a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me get back to the chart. Yeah. It's so interesting too with the Greg Wallace scandal.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a lot about Gemini and how there would be a twin. Well, we also talk about with Gemini that people often have two first names. And
Right.
so we had Greg Wallace. So that
Yeah.
gave us a clue as to who it was we were talking about and getting clues about.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's that?
Angel D. We love Vicky B.
I know, I know. We love her.
We
Don't touch
do.
Vicky.
Yes.
Now, what we're talking about here is Saturn in Pisces, and this is the flood still. So I think it's possible that it could be maybe flood insurance scandal. It has something potentially to do with the weather, photographs, documents,
Mm.
and there's a thief in the middle of there. So maybe
Mm.
we'll be hearing about somebody potentially not being able to follow through on their evil plan. So that would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, December 23rd. Okay. I'm
Mm.
jumping ahead here only because I was looking at some of the charts and this looks big.
Mm.
We've got the week of December 23rd, and I couldn't help it. But we're going to be, as far as the rising sign, it's going to start being Libra, which is court,
Mhm.
marriage, couples,
Yeah.
and contracts, right? So the Lord of Libra is Venus, and we have Venus here in uh, Aquarius squaring Uranus. This is a married person that is
Mm.
like, I'm done. And
Done.
so, and it's gonna make big, big headlines.
Yeah.
So it's either that she's done, and it seems like it might be a female, but it
Mm.
is a famous, famous relationship.
Yeah.
And it comes to a shocking close. Doesn't necessarily mean a divorce, but a
Yeah.
shocking close. And I was wondering what you thought about
Mm. Well, I'm fascinated that I haven't seen these charts until now.
yeah.
And all of this energy with the Aquarius, the Libra, the Venus, the Justice card, all of that is tracking with all the things that you're talking about. And even really, truly, my Aquarius King of Swords in reverse this was the very first card I pulled before we spoke today. And that is a divorce. That is a cutting off a contract and hightailing it out. And it's more Aquarius energy. Let's see. What is it? I want this one and this. Well, yes, this is shocking, shocking breakup.
And there's
Get one
nothing
more
more
for this.
shocking than a breakup or an ending of a relationship around the holidays.
Yes, and that is, with the marriage card, Ace of Wands in reverse is, love don't live here anymore.
Oh my god.
And I just saw
Whoa.
the Ace of Cups in reverse. Literally, love don't live here anymore. There's something though about a third party. There is something about another person that keeps coming
Okay.
around.
I wonder if this is a long shot, but I wonder if it's connected to the person who we might hear about this week.
Yes.
So I'm not sure, but Marie, you said watching from hospital here in Saudi Arabia, doing duty. Hello, Val and Amber. Always looking forward to your show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know sometimes people are busy, but they manage to get away for the live stream. And I didn't put any commercials on today, so you could see, since it's the holidays and you don't have to worry about commercials. Now, Lisa, you said if it's in California, they have to file before the new year. Good point. Yes, everybody's filing. So, yeah, let me
Interesting.
see. Eleanor, another psychic has predicted a death of a female in the royal family before Christmas. Thank you for that. Whoa, shocking. Okay.
That would be shocking.
All right. Now we have. I'm just going to really quickly tell you guys, if you're interested in pulling your own solar return chart, go to AstroSeek. You can pull your chart, and then there's the solar return. You can see that orange link there. It says 23, 24. Just pull the chart for whatever birthday you had last and the location you were in, and make sure to put solar only. And I don't know why I have that random arrow there, but anyway, solar only at the top, and you're going to make sure there are no planets on the outside of your chart. So that's how you're going to pull your solar return chart. Keep an eye on your rising sign and the Lord of the ascendant, basically, or first house, and see what that looks like. That's going to be the first step to reading your solar return chart. So, speaking of solar return charts, we are looking at Princess Catherine's solar return chart for 2025, and we have Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. And this is going to be the case for a lot of people, not just Princess Catherine, but for her, this is really heavy because it's in a cardinal house, which is the 7th. Very, very, very strong for her. And Jupiter not only represents her this year because that's her rising sign planet, but it also represents Jupiter being a husband. So
Yes.
Prince William. So, and fitting how it's in Gemini, which means two. So it represents the both of them. They're both in there.
Yeah.
And so let's look a little bit more. She starts her 2025 solar return chart January 9th. There she is. And make sure. Okay. We have, so this is Prince William, and we've seen this before. I've mentioned this before with the sextile to Part of Fortune. Oh, yay.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's getting some awards, if not titles here. So this is at least the one good thing for Prince William. But we've got a little bit of a problem here because not only is Prince William and Princess Catherine Jupiter retrograde, but they are both in a square to whoever this is. And who is that person? This is King Charles. King Charles rules the 4th house of the 7th, which is Prince William's father. So there is a big, it looks like no contact. Somebody doesn't want any pictures of them coming out. Maybe they're having problems with the video, or Pisces is being sick. It is also it's foreign things too. Keeping in mind the 3rd house is Princess Catherine's, what she's talking about. She's talking a lot about what's happening and how they are cut off in some way. And it does not look very good for Prince William and Princess Catherine when it comes to Prince Charles. With a square, sometimes when you're talking about Pisces, it has to do with somebody disappearing, not like, where is your dad? We need to get in touch with him. One more thing, and then I'm going to ask you. Venus in Pisces, you see that a lot with Elizabeth Taylor, all those diamonds, all those jewels. And with Saturn here, that is inherited jewel. That's old jewels, and they are not getting them. And so I wonder if there's some kind of controversy about the jewelry.
Jewels. Oof, that would be one argument and fight they don't need to add to their list of turmoil that they have. Let's see. I'm getting a card for William. It's yeah. As you know, I always like this one for William. So there he is, and he's something he's hurt by. He's hurt by something, words, with that 3 of Swords. This is the William card. And it's I want to see for Princess Catherine. There's the 7th house partnership. There's a choice to be made around their success, their future. There's something with their future success that they are taking sort of there's something that comes through. It's the 3 again, which I don't like, but there's a pain point. It's like 3's a crowd. There's a problem with the 3 of them, and it's hurting the relationship.
Okay. That's interesting, Jan, saying that recently and at an animal event, the people around Willie looked very nervous.
Oh, well, this is definitely, this is someone lying in state. We talk about disappearing and sort of, this is take a big nap. This is someone taking a break or literally being laid up, hospitalized, incapacitated, disappearing.
Yes. Let's see here. Thank you, Angel D. Now, and also if you want to get in touch with Amber, you could go to the description box and email Amber. Now, okay, so we've got jewelry, we've got somebody lying in state, we've got somebody disappearing, potentially another female in the mix. This is somebody who has bright blue eyes because Venus in Pisces is a lady with a lot of, just very blue Neptunian types of characteristics. So I'm going to say blue eyes, but also don't forget Venus is squaring Jupiter, or Venus is squaring Jupiter in Gemini. So this is the twin female. Now, this also represents Princess Catherine's sister. So there's a possibility that they're not able to talk to Pippa for some reason. I'm not sure, but there is, because the third house and a square to the third house, it often shows, that for a little while you won't be able to necessarily communicate that you want what you want. However, with Venus also representing Princess Catherine's 10th house of career, it also shows, oh my God, she is flipping the script. She's almost like doing a Melania Trump, where she's like, I'm going to chill back here in whatever Mar-a-Lago is over in the UK, And so she's changing something up because she's not having something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me just add this back, and her year looks kind of wild. She has this Black Moon Lilith there, and it's in a T-square with Chiron. And so there is definitely something that's happening. This looks like possibly, now we were talking before about how Prince William said this year was the most difficult of his life. I think next year might have some pretty difficult moments for Princess Catherine because of the T-squares that she has there. But there's some really nice things too. You can see that there is a blue trine, and something you want to look for in your chart if you're looking at the solar return. This looks like a famous visionary here. She might be getting fame for, I don't know, maybe telling the future. But this is also in the second house. So it seems like there's a win financially for her and the family somehow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she's bored and she's like playing games or doing Bitcoin or whatever. But also looks as if her dad is going to be in the news as well because of Saturn, and it is in this little mini grand trine here. So Saturn and sextiling the moon is really famous for something, and it comes really fast.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what that is, but she's going to be Jupiter for her solar return year, and so that's going to be over here. They're definitely getting some kind of royal title of some sort, but somebody is trying to block it, and I think that might be King Charles. Just real quick, I wanted to show you that this is the Dasha calendar for Prince William, and it's kind of crazy. He had a triple Saturn Dasha in 2010. I mean, this is really difficult when you have Saturn 3 times, and it's your main Dasha and the mini Dashas. And so I looked back in 2010, and usually this is a time of great responsibility, sadness, not being able to do something that you want to do, kind of being constricted. There is a lot of restriction. And so around this time, in the beginning of 2010, he was told by Queen Elizabeth II that he needed to go to New Zealand and Australia and do duties on behalf of her. The entire time he's down there, he had Queen Elizabeth's private secretary watching him the whole time. And there was this kind of like criticism from the public. They were like, why? And they would go to these events where it was like the beach and the guy was dressed up in a suit, and they were like, you could at least look a little less
Yes.
conspicuous. So he's having to deal with people like breathing down his neck, and there's a sadness there. Well,
Yeah.
usually what happens after you've come out of this period, which he did to some extent, he came out of the mini dasha right at August 11th, 2010, you could see, and it was right after that he and Kate announced their engagement.
Engagement.
So there could have been some sadness that he couldn't be with her.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be interesting just to pull his dasha calendar to see
Yeah.
what's going on there. And okay, so that's Princess Catherine. This is, I think that's King Charles right
Mhm.
there. And hopefully they can figure out what to do. Now, here's something that you could do. If you saw your own chart and you saw something like this,
Yeah.
you're like, Venus is dad. Well, guess who else is dad? Dad is Saturn. So there are some things that are positive because you
Yeah.
can see a blue mini grand trine.
Right.
And so this is him. This is it's really her father.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't know if we could say that it's Charles, but it's almost like both of her fathers are kind of like they're talking, or she's
Mm.
talking to both of them. One wants to talk to her and the other one doesn't. So it's a little frustrating for her.
Yeah.
And interesting how we were talking about, just a few days ago, and the name of the show is At Each Other's Throats. And Us Weekly just comes out with this, Inside the Power Struggle.
Wow.
So we're going to be seeing a lot more of these types of headlines, I think.
Yeah.
And this is also interesting about Prince William's birth chart. Now, keep in mind when you are going through your dasha calendar, your dasha, whatever dasha you're in, for
Yeah.
him it was Saturn. Well, Saturn for him, when it activates, which it was in 2010,
Mhm.
he was in the news. He was in the news, and with the square there to the moon,
Yeah.
and their mortal enemies, this is just feeling depressed and sad.
Yeah.
And so, but he's in the news, and
Yeah.
yet he is also, you could see this trine to Mercury in the fifth. So, there are people in his family that make him feel better when he's out in the ninth house, which is doing international things.
Right.
So one thing too is a really easy way to look at your birth chart and read it is for Prince William, you would look, or a man, you would look at Mars, which would be when he was, up till about 40, 45 years old. And then Saturn comes in. It's kind of the same thing. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
It looks, Saturn and Mars is a long war in the
Yeah.
ninth house with the press.
Uh,
Also shows um, maybe some profiles with the military and all of that stuff.
mm.
But it certainly looks like he is kind of, as he's getting older now, he's really being reminded of those days in 2010 when he had so much responsibility.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening again. He's like,
Yeah.
he's really being weighed down
Yeah.
by the responsibility. Should I do this? Well, he's going to be upset if I don't do that. And it's kind of
Right.
like he's kind of in a spot, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So I guess one question I have for you for 2025 is just to pull some cards on Prince William.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Well, this is tough. That Ace of Cups in reverse. It's like an emotional upheaval. Like you said, maybe 2024 was the preview of that. And he's, sort of rolling into that same familiar energy that's difficult, emotional upheaval around, the firm and responsibility and commitment. This is a commitment. Yeah, there's some fighting, still some arguments, ongoing battles. I don't love this though. This is if it's his energy, it's like he might have to, if I were to give advice, I'd say choose your battles. This is to win at all cost, and someone always gets hurt. So if his mindset is in a 5 of Swords, it's you'll just do whatever you want to get what you want. And that's not a great energy because you'll get hurt. Because I just had that for him a minute ago. He will be hurt by this.
Ugh.
You know, not that he hasn't already had some of that experience, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a little bit more of the same. Yeah, he's going to have to make some decisions around King Charles, around his father. This is definitely father energy.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Michelle from Sussex. Thanks for tuning in. And hello, Teresa. He looks like his father in the Us Weekly pic. Yeah. Okay. And Angel, I'm not going to post that, but I thought the same thing about Will's and the hair. But Jan, you said no one is commenting on what school George went to. Well, they should. We should be talking about this. But isn't he going to Eton?
I think so.
Angel, the chat is struggling today. Don't worry, it's Mercury retrograde. So yeah, Anne should have been the oldest. Jan, you said, I love how you keep track of this. Online royal diary only completed by Anne. And that was after she had her horse accident.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Steph said, Jan, I assumed you've heard King Charles Cancer is incurable. Not sure how true that is. Now, you said something about commitment, and funny that you say that because 2010 was when he had to also, I think people were pushing him to make a commitment with Kate as well.
Yes.
So I think that year was pretty hard for him because he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do. And it meant no more independence, which is kind of what's going to be happening for him again.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to show you too that let me go back to that one. Okay. Now, this is pretty interesting here too. Keep in mind the third house, this is communications, but let's look at Mercury to see where Harry is, because it's the third house from the seventh. That's the brother, and it's in Virgo. So clothing, pets, healthcare, and we're gonna look at Mercury here. And okay, what's that about? Now, this is interesting. If Mercury, his brother, Prince William's brother, is in Kate's first house, that sure looks like he's near her. Yet, what? Come on, I'm not reading this correctly. Okay, so what do you think?
Are you looking at the South Node?
Yes.
Yeah.
South Node and what? Neptune. Okay. So this means no communications. It means sorrow. Might mean sorrow from not being able to go abroad or something, but this is I think this might be serious. What do you think?
It does look serious. The first thing I saw was it's like the loss of someone.
Now that could be just grieving the fact that they don't have Harry around anymore and they need him.
Yeah. Or if he's near her, travels to her Chariot card. This is like a last minute, jump on a jet plane and get yourself somewhere. That's a fast movement travel. That's quick. Home. Travel home to the castle.
Okay, so he's traveling home. He's in sorrow. So we could probably understand what that is. Yet, he, you know what? With the squaring of Neptune, it means no photographs are allowed. He's probably restricted, and also shows that he has to remain invisible or even be disguised.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I have Pisces with the Hanged Man and then the Two of Wands. That's long distance travel. He's going somewhere far. And I saw the Ace of Pentacles was in the reverse, as if there's like money trouble. Is he jetting somewhere due to some money trouble, addressing money trouble. Oh, King of Wands in reverse. This is, could be read literally.
Yep. Yes, the king is weak at the very least.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that definitely Princess Catherine's
Yeah.
birth chart is really coming alive, I think. You can see all the different relationships, how there's a cutoff of communication. That's gonna be potentially a major theme for her.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, Angel, you said secret meeting. It's a possibility, but it doesn't look like it goes very well. I
Yeah.
don't see a lot of harmony there. And, I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. And I think
Mm.
that is pretty much it. I think I wanna look at one more thing. And by the way, if you like this show, please don't forget to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. And now I'm gonna get to look at her solar return one more time. And, her family, and hopefully you can see this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the 11th house. You can look at the 11th house in your solar return as what your goal is for this year,
Mm.
what your hopes and dreams are. And with Scorpio, that can generally be inheritances,
Ah.
and it can mean other people's money. And it can also, of course, mean the monarchy. So we would look at Pluto to see how she's going to do. Oh boy. In the second house, looks like pretty well.
Yes.
Wow.
Money.
And there is somebody who is opposing her here. That's going to be from January 2025 to January 2026.
Mm.
Somebody's angry. It looks as if it is 10, 11, 12. Now, this is the 10th house from Prince William. So that's it's like the military.
Right.
It's somebody pretty angry that she's getting a lot of money.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if you could give us some insight on that. And I think we might have looked at Mars retrograde. And what I would say is this person is very abusive,
Yeah.
is
Oh,
super, super angry.
right at the end of Cancer there, right?
Yeah, very weak, very weak.
Ooh, yes. King of Cups. That is Scorpio. So we're talking about that Pluto opposition. This is a man, obviously, the Mars aspect. Someone with power. Who is that? That's almost like King Charles.
Okay. Oh, yes, because I think there might be some problems there with Camilla versus Princess Catherine there.
Mhm.
Who's getting what?
Yeah.
Jewelry?
Land.
Land, yes.
Land. I see this.
Scorpio is real
Yeah.
estate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or is it something related to land outside of the borders that there's control over? I know Pluto with control, titles, things like that for some places outside of the borders where they're named
Okay.
and given certain titles
Mhm.
on certain land. Yeah, outside of the UK. Something with the world card that tells me it's definitely something outside of the borders. UK.
Okay. Steph, you said Amber, Val, could they be rejoining the royal family again? Gossip around. This is talking about Harry and Meghan. Yeah, there's a lot of gossip. I think it's because it's really sad because you can tell at the core the kingdom wants them back. At least wants Harry back into the fold. They want their family back again.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's a lot of people can relate.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and Jan, you said Charles and Willie selling duchy land. Man, that's
Mhm.
possible. We have also I don't know if I mentioned this already, but there's a headline that Sarah is leaving Andrew. So that just came out that she's not going to be spending Christmas there. I guess she's going somewhere else.
Yep.
She's going someplace foreign. I'm not sure where.
Oh.
We'll have to talk about that next time.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much all I have. Any thoughts about the coming days? What's your take? Maybe Actually, could we do one card that
Sure.
talks about maybe some good news? And you were mentioning that too
Yeah.
before the show. You were saying something about healthcare, something that's pretty positive.
Yes. If there's going to be any kind of like anything ninth house court related around healthcare workers, there is a Wheel of Fortune, something coming that's positive with healthcare workers that it's like a win. I don't know what it will be, but it's a win.
Yeah, there's
Um,
part of fortune right in Virgo. That would make sense.
yeah.
Also shows that maybe some people could be trying to block it, but I think
Mm,
there's some good news definitely coming in.
yeah. The good news could also be around a dictator, someone sort of coming out of favor. There's like a fallen someone who's a dictator. There's some kind of win there too.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Yeah, we've
Mhm.
got some huge headlines. There wasn't any way we could possibly cover them all. I'm sure, Ukraine is coming in. We're talking major global headlines, but
Yeah.
lots of things that are kind of just delayed as well with that T square in there. So
Yeah.
we'll have to talk about it next time. So
Yes.
thank you so much. And thanks,
Absolutely.
everyone.
Great
Have
weekend.
a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.